So let's chat a little bit more about this concept that you can always be who you want to be in love and in life generally. So I have here a quote from X, and I will put the creator's name like below if you want to check them out. I thought that this was really good. Manifestation is not about controlling everything. It is about trusting yourself so deeply that you no longer panic when things look the same. You hold your inner reality like truth. You walk with it like fact. And because you do, the world eventually aligns. That is not delusion. That is dominion. You were never meant to wait. You were meant to choose and then live like that choice is law. So this is actually everything. So when you know who you are, that you are actually the source, and you are only playing these characters, so these infinite versions of yourself, and you can choose among them, and when you choose, the reality changes. So why wait for anything from outside of you when that was never meant to be the case? You are always someone, you are always being someone, you're always seeing yourself as some version of you are always aware of you being some version of you. So here we are talking about this thing that there is no one, because you are actually alone in the room, and I will be having like a 2-part series especially about this thing, and and free will and things like that. But you are essentially alone in the room. There is no one else. So there is no one who can give you something. As source, you give yourself the experiences that you want to have. And this is built in that way that, okay, they will be reflected. But that's not reality. What's within you, what's within your awareness, that's reality. So choosing who you want to be in this moment, that's the internal game. So what I wanted to talk about as well is that this thing gives you the freedom, and really like in this quote, like you don't have to wait for anything, because when you are waiting, the reality mirror gives you more waiting, and then the control, like we were talking about, that it's actually not about controlling, but the power is outside of yourself, and it's never meant to be there. It's meant to be within you, because you are the source. SP is not the source of anything. And here is something else that I wanted to talk about in this context, and that's especially when it comes to SP manifestation. And actually, it's the same with every kind of manifestation. We are not manifesting the SP. We are not manifesting the money. We are not manifesting whatever. We are, if we want to use the term manifesting, we are manifesting the reality where we experience those things that we want to experience. So it always comes down to you and yourself and to who you are being. So the thing that I see many people do is that that they are all about the SP. And as I have said like multiple times before, you can be with anyone that you want. You can manifest anyone that you want. There is no one that is out of limits for you. That's not the issue. I'm not saying not to manifest the relationship with the SP, but what many people are doing, and I used to do this myself also. So it's quite common, and it's nothing to be, it's nothing out of the ordinary. But how many of us are actually manifesting a relationship, because I think that that's ultimately what we want. Of course, you can have your SP for some other purpose than a relationship. I don't mean that, but many of us have kind of, glossed over the fact that there is a relationship involved in this. So, and because SP is also a form of you, so what you ultimately probably want is some kind of a relationship with some qualities that you prefer, that you value, that you think that will make you happy. And you have attached these to this specific person, which is fine. And that's what we can do if we want to. But still, ultimately, you are manifesting a version of yourself in that kind of relationship. And also, if we're just thinking about that, I have to have this SP. So if you have not kind of changed yourself, and there was something wrong with the relationship and your relationship dynamic before, something that you didn't prefer, so even if you get the SP, that doesn't guarantee that you will get that kind of relationship that you want to have. So in that way, the thing that I advise my clients to do is to go straight for the relationship, because that will also kind of lessen the importance of the SP, because if the SP, and I don't mean the importance in your life, I mean, of course, SP is very important for you and very important in your life, but I mean that SP manifestation can become such a tight like grip, like I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to get this, why can't I get this specific person? And then you kind of lose sight of the fact that your life is involved here. So a healthy way to manifest an SP is to be happy in the process, and already give yourself the things that you would like to have in the relationship. And that's something else that I wanted to talk about giving to yourself. So, because that's ultimately the thing that will get us away from the waiting. And you can give to yourself in many ways. You can visualize, you can affirm, you can do whatever. What I do is just like, when I notice that, okay, now something is triggering me or whatever, I'm just like, okay, but I've already dropped this character, I'm the new one, and I'm in my relationship already. So that is me giving it to myself when I notice that I'm in a state of waiting or I'm triggered. So, and that means like very good things for the eventual relationship, because how many of us are in a relationship and we are totally dependent on the other person to give us these experiences, and they can ultimately never do that if we don't give them to ourselves first. If these things like being loved, being cherished, being adored, feeling safe, if these things are not within us internally already, then by law, other people can't give them to us. Even if someone comes and like treats you in a way that that you would normally feel loved and cherished and safe and secure and things like that, you can become suspicious. What's going on? Are they love bombing me? Like what's this thing? Or start to find fault and start to be jealous or whatever. It isn't the other person who can give you these things. They always have to come from within yourself, because you are the source of them. No one else can be a source of anything for you, ultimately. So yes, this is what I wanted to talk about. Oh, of course, the little helper decided to do her thing in the middle of the video. So yeah, to really this is a way of you prioritizing yourself, because who else to prioritize? Because actually there is no one else. All other people and everything else is a reflection designed for you to have that kind of an experience of romantic love or whatever that you want to have. So always prioritize your inner state. And I don't mean by this, actually, I don't mean that you become like, oh, but I can't feel bad now. Tina said to me that you must prioritize your inner state, and I can't have these thoughts and I can't have these feelings. Like, if I don't prioritize my inner state, then this thing is not going to happen. No, it's not about you feeling good all the time or having the perfect thoughts, because that's not the thing that manifests or makes or breaks this thing. Maybe I shouldn't even have used the word state, because I think it's a little bit limiting, but it's about your identity. So are you the one who is loved, cherished, adored, and in a safe and secure and healthy and wonderful relationship, or are you not? There are like two options all the time, and it doesn't depend on what's going on in 3D. It depends on who you decide that you are. And I just noticed this like very, very acutely in my own life this weekend or last weekend. I noticed myself changing from like one identity to another identity, and because I always say that every identity is an all-inclusive experience, like an all-inclusive holiday. Every identity comes with its own thoughts, its own feelings, its own assumptions and actions. So oh my God, the kind of emotional thing that I went through, in a way, or my character went through. Actually, my character went through that. But it was very interesting to observe, and that's the key, to observe it and not to believe it, because if I would have gone into the story of this identity that I actually wanted to drop and didn't want to identify with anymore, like, I would have like done totally different things, and my experience would have been totally different. So that's the power that we have. Like, when we choose an identity or drop an identity, then the experience change, all the perspectives change, and then the outcome is totally different. But the main point is realizing that you always have the choice. And what I also discovered during the weekend was kind of even a deepening of this thing, that 3D is an illusion, or is to be treated as an illusion, because if it doesn't change like that, or it seems to you that it hasn't changed, so who do you believe in? Where do you put your faith in? In the 3D or in yourself?